Come on. Up, up. Good. It's good. Up, up, up. Maybe if I come up with you. Come on. Oh, that's so brave of you. That's so brave. Good job. Sit. Good. Down. Oh, it's a good down. We worked real hard on that. I could assure you we worked really hard on that. Good. That's good. Just seeing how long she could do this for. She's waiting for food, which is perfect. I don't mind her anticipating food if she's performing the damn behavior that we worked really hard to get. Dropping the leash as an additional challenge for her. Let's see if we can create some space. When she looks back at me, I'm going to pay her. Bam. Okay, just showing her that I'm the better option. Allowing her to look and be curious is totally fine. I think it's really important to be able to distinguish the difference between looking and loading. If the dog is just being curious and not advancing to the next, escalating, right? If she's not escalating, I have no problem with her looking over there. But I am going to take the opportunity to mark and pay when she makes the choice on her own to look back at me. Because again, my main point of emphasis is to get her here, give her experience, but also to show her that it's me and her. Me against the world, you know what I'm saying? Another big challenge coming right now, somebody walking by. They actually identified I was filming this video and went the other way. But there's just always going to be challenges. And, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she's going to do well. And if she doesn't, that's okay. We can just reinforce and try again. Good. Very good. To hold position with a person walking by is really, really, really super good. And you can see the pattern that we're setting up for her. She looks at something and then boom, like immediately looks back at me for the food reward, which is ultimately what I'm trying to teach her utilizing this motivator. But she's been here long enough. Okay, free. And then we just release her and go back to doing the super boring thing, which is just existing in an environment of which she's relatively unfamiliar with. We've been in public multiple times together, me and this one. But the thing is, it's like, if it's a new environment, if it's a new look, it's going to pose similar challenges because it's something new. They haven't seen this particular place yet. So it's ultimately the same strategy. And I'm producing this video specifically for Penny's owners because it's something to fall back on to watch this video as a reminder. What am I going to do if I go to a public space? There's always like learning to be had for the dog. And so again, the easy part, the main point of emphasis, the easy part is just getting here with them. And the next point of emphasis is understanding, looking and loading. Like, you want to give her the opportunity to look at things. You don't want to correct her just because she's looking at something a little curiously. Let her look at it and then use that as an opportunity to wait for her to re-engage with you. You could do something like, if she's not re-engaging with you, you could do something as simple as, looks like he's trying to come up here. Up, up. Oh, well, that's mighty brave. Step back, with the leash. So she's over there. You just step back and re-engage with her. And, the really cool thing here is that this dog at the very beginning was so all over the place, so overly stimulated by every single little thing that she wouldn't take a piece of food. And that poses a little bit of an issue because ultimately, like, the reinforcer is something that does a really good job of, like, really painting that clear Mona Lisa, that picture for them. And it puts them in a better space to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all through patterns and repetitions. And for her, it took a fair bit of acclimation and time and patience for her to get comfortable enough to even take food. And that's one thing that I would also really like to point out to you guys is, like, every dog is in their own specific portion of their journey, and what one big victory for someone else may not be a big victory for others. And so again, the way I see it is like just her taking food from me is like such a big thing, because it just puts us one step closer to further continue teaching this dog that it's me and her, and everything else doesn't really necessarily matter as much. So like, for example, another thing that I'll do is like if I'm up here chilling with her or whatever, and I have her on the floor, I typically try to keep all four on the floor with small dogs, with every dog, but particularly small dogs, because a lot of the time they get used to being carried and just a big old band-aid on issues, and they never written, and there's really no actual communication in those specific contexts where the dog needs communication. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to pick them up, and then you're kind of putting lipstick on a pig right there. It's not necessarily all that effective. There's no learning going on there. So like, with that being said, if somebody walks by, and so I'm going to give her some food because she's paying such good attention to me, she's going to perhaps get curious and want to go towards that person, and I'll just use the leash to lightly remind her, hey, that's not for you to, because I want her to just sit there and do nothing when people walk by. Like, that's the goal. So, pet dog training isn't the most exciting shit, especially when it comes to socialization and public exposure and acclimation to the real world, because the goal is for her to just accept everything gracefully, and that's what a well-socialized dog does. So that's all we're doing in this session, and that's all we will continue to do in all of our public exposure sessions, including random obedience stuff, right? So if like we're doing what I'm talking about now, randomly I'm like, oh, let's do some obedience. I'll just, come on, pop her up here. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Down. She's feeling some conflict. I'll keep a little bit of light pressure. Good. And then free. Shit like that. All right? Not much else going on. It's me and Penny, Captain Chad, TV TV. If you appreciate the content, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any future notifications of any of my posts, and join the family. If you watched multiple videos of mine and you haven't subscribed yet, as far as I'm concerned, you're stealing. It's completely free to watch this content. The only thing it costs is something for free, and it helps out a lot. Thumbs up, subscription, ring the bell. That's it. Captain, Penny. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, and if you watched the video this far, drop a W in the chat to let me know that you did. All right? Peace.